the time, Chris was working as a personal trainer for the Cardinals cheerleaders, as well as a TV reporter on Good Morning Arizona.
When he opened up the door, all I saw was this massive blue shirt that extended out beyond the door jambs, and these Coke bottle glasses looking down at me, and all he could say was, "Hi."
He's got his little muscle shirt on. There's no way that I have anything in common with this guy.
The first thing Chris wanted to do was study David's diet and see what he could change.
It's textbook as to why he gained his weight. You know, it's absolutely textbook where he would starve himself through the morning and then eat, you know, a relatively large lunch and then, of course, stuff himself at dinner and go to bed. That's music to my ears because all I have to do is simply change the pattern and he's going to drop like a rock. His change as far as nutrition goes was taking him from 2 meals late in the day, spreading it out to 5 meals throughout the day.
As soon as Chris had David's nutrition sorted out, the next thing he had to do was get him to commit to a workout routine.
When we first started out, the biggest thing was doing exercise that, number one, he was capable of doing, and number two, exercise that we weren't gonna risk some kind of injury. And I knew that one of the most important things I could do is just to teach him a squat. This kid, he was squatting 570 pounds every time he stood up, and because of that, if I put him into motion, it's like revving up a V12 engine. And I knew that the more squats he did, obviously the more I could get his metabolism through the roof. So I would actually create a little bit of leverage here, and I'd kind of stand him up, and it was just about like that. It was a slow, painful process, and then he would slowly lower himself back down. This is bringing back some memories, actually. This is actually bringing back a lot of memories.
Chris created a workout plan that David could complete without leaving the house.
A squat with an overhead press.
Using everyday objects and exercises he'd be able to do when Chris wasn't around.
I'd have him just move as quickly as he possibly could up the stairs. And I would set the timer for 5 minutes or so. And of course, I'd fudge the time a little bit because he didn't get to see the stopwatch just to make him hustle a little bit. So, surprise. Once we created the structure, he started dropping like a rock. He started dropping really fast. It was probably about 40 pounds the first month, and then about 30, 35 pounds the second month. So we knew it was going to happen fast. Every time we'd weigh him on the scales, it was going down in these 10-pound increments weekly. That's when this transformation really began. It has nothing to do with the physical aspect of it. It really has everything to do with an incredible person getting a second chance.
These days, Chris isn't just David's trainer. They're now best friends and roommates.
Looking good. You got a great haircut.
Is now learning to be the life of the party.
Chris, what should I do?
4 years ago, at the age of 27, David had never been out to a bar. He'd lost a staggering 300 pounds, and Chris decided it was time for the new David to be revealed.
And he was like, "Oh my God, that was the best night of my life. That was incredible. Can we go out next weekend?"
6 years after starting his transformation, David's weight is a stable and healthy 220 pounds. He now has a new job, and he also has friends. Friends who are always on hand to talk about the one thing David hasn't yet achieved.
I'll be straight up honest with you. It's never as big of a deal as you ever expect it to be.
The only thing you're thinking is, I just want to have sex, I want to have sex, and that's like a barrier to really getting to know the person or want to get to know the person.
First time, boy, it was done and over with before I even remember.
I've had opportunities, you know. I'm stubborn, you know. I don't want to lose it that way. It's with or talk to. That's all I really want. I do feel lonely inside, you know. A little defeated, but I watched TV and that's about it. And then I met Chris and he's changed my life. I don't even see that as me. That's not me. That's not me anymore.
Wow, dude. You know, actually, the whole thing, it seems like a dream. See, I remember being there, but I don't remember you being there, to be honest with you. And I remember talking nutrition with you, but I kind of think of it as you and not that guy.
That guy right there had no dreams. You know, he had no ambition. Nothing was going for him. But There's a lot going on for me now. And not only am I bettering myself, but I'm helping other people better themselves as well. Instead of being a dud, I want to be a stud. No.
We're gonna use that. What do you know, buddy? What do you know?
I lost to 400 pounds. I was just skin and bone.
And after losing all that weight, he was still faced with a massive challenge.
When I first started, I thought maybe I wouldn't need surgery, hoping. But, you know, after I lost the first 100, you know, I started noticing a little bit of saggy skin. And especially when I dropped 200 pounds, I noticed a substantial amount of...
Inspired by David's story, leading plastic surgeon Dr. Mazahari offered his services for free.